Morning, everyone. My name is Kolo Sangalo. I work as a business restructuring assistant at a commercial company that deals with tax, audit and assurance, business restructuring, as well as business rescue. So, according to my knowledge, compliance is a set of rules, or rather a system implemented that people can follow or use to track if they're on the right path and doing the right thing. So essentially compliance is a chain of various factors or various departments that should work together and collaborating in ensuring that each and every uh, individual or organization fulfills its duty. A typical example is a company. A company needs to have auditors. A company needs to have lawyers. A company has to have your HR and so forth. So that whole chain is constituting compliance. That whole chain is NB when it comes to compliance. So compliance is intertwined and it is very diverse. So without compliance, the world is literally it's doomed, if I may put it that way. So yes, that's my view on compliance. And then when it comes to corruption, corruption is obviously related to the law implementing procedure or fulfilling its functions. But when it comes to corruption as well, there are internal procedures that could be followed in reviewing whether compliance was implemented, or rather the relevant individuals were supposed to did rather fulfill their duties and so forth. For instance, if let's say an employee is charged of theft at a certain organization, what obviously comes to mind is the employee's contract and what the code of conduct says, save the fact that theft is a criminal offense and it is punishable by law and so forth. But the starting point and the basis is the code of conduct, your more or less like your constitution, the founding document that binds you and the company, that binds you and the individual, that binds you and the organization that you work for, or that you represent, etc. So if, for instance, a person is found guilty rather of corruption, the what can I say, the offense is not necessarily on that person's shoulders only. Other factors are looked into, such as whether the relevant people implemented what they were supposed to implement, such as whether an HR manager in an organization ensured that due procedures were followed in ensuring that there's systems in place that track people on how they're performing or on how they actually execute their duties and so forth. So compliance essentially requires teamwork, because as an employee alone, I cannot comply if my manager is not complying, if my boss is not complying. Same applies to the boss. The boss and the HR and the auditors and so forth can do their part, but if I don't do my part as an employee, there is a crack of some sort, or there is a loophole that will appear, and then subsequently raise issues such as compliance, as well as issues such as corruption and so forth. So compliance is a two-way street, if I may put it that way. Thank you so much.